Well, hello. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello there, internets. Hi.
Welcome to the internet. Welcome to Zombo.
Have a look around. Oh, welcome to Talking Heads, everyone. Episode 219, your once-weekly live show for the latest in beer and tech news. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Steve.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching on this Wednesday night or in podcast form over on Anchor.fm or wherever your favorite podcasts are found. If you've never seen the show before, we talk beer, we talk tech, we talk games, pop culture, entertainment. Tonight, there will be some Star Trek. We read all super chats on the air, so long as they will not permanently demonetize the channel. We do drink alcohol on the show, and if you are drinking along with us, alcoholic or not, let us know in the chat, and we'll give some early show shoutouts as we go along. And last but not least, if you want to take part in the super secret chat and the even more super secret live video after party, think about joining the Patreon. Link is down in the video description. As a bonus, you'll get exclusive access to the Discord server, where you can chat with myself, John, Rhett, Steve, all the hosts from Talking Heads, and take part in the awesome community that hangs out over there.
And hang out they do.
And hang out they do.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed. How are you, Steve?
I'm doing pretty good, actually.
Awesome.
And yeah, I'm feeling good. A little tired, but I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
We're kind of chatting a little bit before it started, and I'm graciously doing dry January with my wife. So tonight I'll be only drinking non-alcoholic beers.
That's awesome.
But hopefully, they're always interesting. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
drinking like O'Doul's or the these are craft.
Okay, nice.
Non-alcoholic beers.
Nice.
So they'll be interesting. We'll see how they are.
Yeah. No, I don't do much with the non-alcoholic beers, but I am all about non-alcoholic cocktails. Like mocktails and whatnot. Like that is my jam for like a 10 a.m. I need a pick-me-up.
So John gave me he had ordered the 3 bottles of non-alcoholic I think it was non-alcoholic gin.
Oh, that's right. He got the 3-pack.
Tequila. Yeah, he got the 3-pack and the non-alcoholic whiskey. And he's like, I'm not going to drink this. You take it and figure out if you can make something good with it.
I've thought about getting into those a little bit.
Okay, if you want a challenge to make them taste good.
Okay.
That would be something to try. Because the whiskey one is kind of tolerable. I can do some interesting stuff with that.
Yeah.
The tequila I haven't found anything good with. The gin's all right. It's just a heavily botanical type of drink.
So Greg over at How to Drink did a couple of mocktail episodes, and in one of them he went a completely different direction because it wasn't an alcohol substitute that was trying to taste like whiskey or gin or vodka or something like that. It was just trying to be a botanical spirit, a non-alcoholic botanical. And and he goes, that one was surprisingly good. And if you think about it, whiskey is whiskey. Like it's a very broad boat. It's a very large boat to hold all that whiskey, but whiskey is whiskey and rum is rum. And we're very good at telling when something isn't what it says it is. Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
Your senses are very attuned. Yeah. I like when, rather than trying to like substitute whiskey, just eliminate the whiskey and go another direction. And so
just go for something very tasty, complex and interesting.
Right. You can do complex without having to have a gin drink. You can do, a nice savory cocktail or mocktail without requiring scotch. And so that's always been my theory for mocktails.
And my theory on that too, or one of the best things I like to add for those type of things, is fresh ginger.
Yes.
You get fresh ginger and brew some fresh ginger liquid tea, let it cool down. It again, you're not substituting any particular alcohol, but it provides a slight burn that makes you think that you're drinking something alcoholic.
One of my go-tos, and I've mentioned this one I know a number of times on the show, is cranberry juice and ginger beer.
To when I'm like, all right, I need to stop for a while or something like that.
Right.
I need to cool it.
Yeah. No, yeah, ginger beer is a great alternative. I do a lot of different mocktails with ginger beer. I'll do a lot of different teas and start experimenting with, adding lemon and mint and whatnot to different tea combinations and having fun with that. So, like I said, if I want an old fashioned, I want an old fashioned. Yes, and not an old fashioned is not going to cut it.
No. And so, that's also my philosophy with diet soda. I just cannot take that diet flavor. I'm gonna
anything artificial sweetener wise, it's out.
Yeah, I can't. I just rather drink less of the real thing.
Yes, that's exactly my thought as well. Yeah. Anyway, why don't you go ahead and get to your introduction? Because I left mine in the fridge, so I'm gonna go grab that really quick.
All right. So, first one right now is from Two Roots Brewing Company, and it's called Straight Dank IPA, and it is an NA beer. It does not say. It says it's a West Coast style, so it's not going to be a hazy. And it's got tons of Eureka and a splash of Comet infused hops. So this should be pretty interesting. I find that the hopped or the IPA style non-alcoholic ones are the best. I also have a stout by Athletic Brewing Company called All Out Extra Dark. It doesn't say it's a stout or a porter. It just says dark. So I'm assuming it's going to be like a stout or a porter or something like that. And then
could be a brown.
Or it could be brown. It just says extra dark. Yeah. I don't know. Then I have another one from Athletic Brewing called Sunset Stroke, which is another IPA, although it does not say if it is a hazy or not. I had an NA from Untitled Art that was an IPA, and I thought was actually quite good. Mm-hmm. Kind of like made me remind myself of an actual IPA. So we'll see how these goes. I don't know.
Yeah, nice. All right. I'm not going to tell you what my second beer is yet. I'm going to make you sweat on it.
All right.
I don't want to be too mean too quick.
Yeah.
Beer number 1 is from Block 15 down in Corvallis. It is their Cold Front Winter Lager. So 6.5%. So actually kind of high for a lager. Yeah. But I've actually not had this one before. So
I actually, even though I'm not drinking this month, I still went and picked up a couple of 4-packs of beer. That Block 15, they were having a clearance.
And it just went all splody on me. So let me grab a towel real quick.
Okay. Well, I'll finish my story then. Yeah, so I found a 4-pack of the Block 15. They had a Christmas Spruce IPA, and that was an Imperial. And they also had an Imperial Red, I believe. And both were going for like $5 for a 4-pack. Just absolutely great prices. And I'm like, I can't pass that up. I got to buy that. Even if I hate it, I still can't pass it up.
Anyway, you were saying you got some Block 15 on clearance?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely great price.
I picked these up for $1.50 a can.
Okay, yeah. That's about what these came up as.
Yep. Which I was quite happy with. Or at least I was at the time. Let's see how they taste.
And Block 15 is really decent.
I've never really had a bad beer from Block 15.
Yeah, Sticky Hands is an excellent IPA. God, yeah. And it's just I've never had I absolutely hated it. It's usually either average or man, this is great.
Or fantastic, right?
Or fantastic, yeah.
Got under my mouse, dang it.
You get your mouse all drunk.
Luckily, it's a trackball, so.
What? It's a trackball mouse? Oh, okay. I thought you. Sorry.
For some reason, it's not a ball mouse.
I thought it was still the ball mouse at the bottom. I'm like, are you still working on your retro PC? Is that what you?
Dang, you're gonna have to take the ball out and rub it with isopropyl.
I still have a ball mouse.
I've got a couple. I've got a couple. So actually, I think my official count is up to 3 now. I have 3 ball mice still.
Every once in a while, I like to go back there and fondle my mice balls.
That's right.
Balls of my mice.
Never forget where you came from.
Never.
Moral of today's story. We do have a couple super chats to get to right off the bat. Let me scroll up and find those as I'm closing Windows again by accident. Starting with Alex John sends over $20. Thank you very much, Alex.
Wow. Thanks, Alex.
Welcome to Talking Heads, your once-weekly live show for beer and tech news. We talk beer, we talk tech, pop culture, entertainment, sometimes some Star Wars. Ooh. Now, you almost nailed the intro. Welcome to Talking Heads, your once-weekly live show for the latest in beer, pause, and tech news. It's a double entendre. It's meant to be for your latest in beer and tech news. We talk beer, we talk tech, we talk games, pop culture, entertainment, usually some Star Trek. That is a very scripted intro.
Yeah.
Anyway, Alex was trying to get us to talk about Star Wars canon yet again, which is a debate that really only Rhett and I have on the show.
I think Star Wars canon has kind of gone out the window a little bit.
And that's kind of what I said last week, too.
Yeah.
I've been having a number of moments over the last couple of weeks that just cement for me that no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. Star
Wars or Star Trek?
No one hates. No one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
Star Wars fans.
I didn't stutter.
Okay.
Because have you seen the Book of Boba Fett? Have you been watching?
Yes,
Yep.
I have been watching the Book of Boba
Okay, have you caught up to episode 3? I know episode 4 launched earlier today. But,
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
episode 3.
Yeah.
And slight spoiler, more of just like a detail moment in there. The speeder bikes are all the swoops.
No, the Vespas that they're the blinged out.
They're
Vespas.
scooters, right?
I know.
But when we think of swoop gangs on Tatooine, we think of the old rusty choppers and whatnot. These were young kids who were, for lack of better term, ricing up their swoops.
I wouldn't even say that. They looked like they were 1950s greasers almost.
Yes, yeah. And so, but that was enough to throw the entire Star Wars Universal fan base into a tizzy fit over, that's not a swoop gang. Well, who are you to decide? And for God's sakes, of all the things to tear apart within the Star Wars universe,
it was silly.
The swoops are the hill you're gonna die on.
There's been much more sillier things in Star Wars in the past, so it's not too crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's go over the weight coefficient of the people that were carrying the twins.
Oh yeah, I know.
Those are some strong dudes.
It
could have been 20 Gamorreans under the Huts, and
Huts
canonically they should have crushed them. Still,
they're mostly hollow. They're like flesh tubes. They're mostly filled with gas.
Well, no, actually, canonically is Hut. Those are the wealthy Huts. They're the fat ones, and their legs and limbs have folded into themselves and whatnot. And it's a sign of. It's a sign to be respected that you are that large, because it means you have servants to provide to you. It's the wealthy class that are the big Huttas.
The big blessed.
So canonically, each Hut should weigh like 3,500 pounds. Mm-hmm. And they're being carried around by 10 skinny white guys? Like, I don't think so.
They might have
maybe the gravity's a little different on Tatooine.
Mag lifts underneath the platform that they're sitting on. I don't know.
Did you see the bow in that thing though? Like,
I know
they put some weight into it.
I was thinking the same thing too, but I'm like, this is science fiction. I can't nitpick that much into it.
So I can
because it's fun. But
so I saw those details, but you know what? It did not diminish one iota my enjoyment of the Book of Boba Fett thus far.
I like it. I like Mandalorian a little better, but it's still pretty good. It's entertaining.
I fully agree. I like these little jaunts into stories that just haven't been told, and because in Star Wars, every single character has not only a backstory but a destiny and everything else that has already been told, in whatever form of literature.
Yeah.
The fact that they're starting to explore some of these. That's freaking awesome. I mean, we've got Obi-Wan coming out with Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen reprising their roles, and Ashoka's going to be making appearances there as well, and we're going to see some of their story as told by competent dialogue writers. So I'm excited. That kind of stuff is great.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to circle back around to this topic at the end of this show.
Right. I can't wait for the new series, Summer Camp Greedo. Where Greedo could not shoot anything at summer camp. He could just never shoot first. He's always last in line.
Until a young hotshot named Lando comes to town and teaches him how to shoot.
Yeah. I want the animated series Star Wars Babies.
It's like the Muppet Babies, just.
Yeah, exactly. So, Baby Chewie and Baby Han and Baby Luke at the Dagobah daycare. I can see it being a hit at Disney Plus, definitely.
Yet, like all shows, you're gonna learn to hate it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I hate watch a lot of things. It's bad for my attitude, but I still do it.
Creighton sends over a $5 good day from the Down Under, and we send one right back at you.
Good day.
Thank you very much, Cran. All right, Steve, did you open your beer? Are we?
I did not.
Okay.
I'm gonna try the Two Roots.
I felt like there was something holding us back, and I couldn't put my finger on.
Yeah, sorry.
I love how you're just going, what's the point?
Yeah, I'm not as excited to be drinking this. Actually, it's just not. It looks like a beer, It doesn't smell as good as like an IPA. It kind of smells like hoppy, honeyed water. Let me taste this here. God, I miss real beer already. It's not bad, but it is definitely lacking in something. It's lacking in body. The hops taste too grassy. It's there, and it's kind of dank, but malt profile is missing. It's just like dinky hop water. I don't know. I'm not a. I didn't have high expectations for this, so it's okay. But
for a lager, I'm digging the hell out of this one.
Oh yeah, I'd take a nice lager right now too.
It's good. 6.5%. I mean, look at the color.
That's nice.
It's a super beautiful, rich amber color.
Yep.
Molassesy color. Thick-bodied lager too. Lots and lots of malt.
That's what I like in a lager. A nice malty lager.
Yes, it's a winter lager. It's the perfect fireside beer. This really is. This is fantastic.
Yeah, that's the only time I really enjoy lagers, if it's a nice thick-bodied malty lager.
This one fits that bill. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get into the news. Starting with, I refuse to say Meta. Facebook.
That's right.
Facebook's VR division, which you may otherwise know as Oculus, is reportedly under investigation by the FTC. Now, why could that be a young, upstanding company like Oculus and Facebook? Well, it appears that Facebook may be manipulating and taking advantage of their market position when it comes to undercutting competition in selling headsets and locking people into a games store. What?
Yeah, it's like a little bit of intimidation going on.
Yeah,
they're like, it'd be a shame if I broke all your virtual items.
Yeah,
it'd be a shame if I virtually set fire to your virtual house.
It's a nice virtual apartment you got here. Here's the deal. As a company, you are allowed to market, produce, sell, procure, however you want, for the most part, goods and services. That is, if you are a company that makes VR headsets, you're allowed to produce whatever you want for a VR headset. You're allowed to sell it as a VR headset. You're allowed to sell it for whatever markup or lots that you want. let's compare this over to game consoles. Let's say Sony versus Microsoft, because they tend to ping pong on the insane hardware value versus like, let's just get them a console and make sure it's good enough. Remember, the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, when they launched, were more powerful than most gaming PCs of the day.
It was.
For at least like 6 months. You know, it was a little bit of catch up.
I think it was a couple months. Yeah. There was a little bit
of catch up on the PC market. Now, that was right at the end of the GeForce FX line.
Yeah.
The much maligned GeForce FX line of cards. Yeah. Right before they dropped the FX line or the FX name because it was so terrible and just called it GeForce. Yeah, that was a time. But the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 were both sold at a loss, basically to get people a console, to get them into the ecosystem so they could sell them software, which is a viable strategy when you're in the market. What is not a viable strategy when you're in the market is simply selling for a loss because you know you can afford to do so. Is undercutting your competition at every turn and paying out exclusivity deals for game studios to produce for only your library when you're also undercutting the hardware. And that's kind of what we're seeing out of Oculus. If you look at competing VR devices, what do you get for $300? The answer is nothing.
Yep. The device.
Right. Well, you don't even get the device for $300. Like, you have to look over at, the HTC, what is it? I forget the name of HTC's most recent one. Focus or whatever. Their standalone, their standalone VR headset is like $700 for not even equivalent hardware. You don't even get full inside-out tracking. You get rotational geometry tracking on your handset,
right? But
you don't have inside-out tracking for 6 degrees of freedom. You can't move the controller. So, and that's what HTC is putting out to make a profit, or skirting the line between profitability, as we know with HTC. You've got other companies. You've got, gosh, now I'm drawing a blank on like every VR company. You've got the Windows mixed reality headsets, which didn't do terribly well in market, but honestly were a fantastic value. But when you consider what compromises the Windows mixed reality headsets did from HP and Lenovo and LG and Samsung and the list goes on, at the $300 to $400 price point that they were being sold at versus what you're getting with an Oculus Quest 2,
right?
You can start to see where Oculus might just be selling at a loss to get you into their ecosystem. The other side of that is they're saying, well, we have the largest ecosystem, so we're going to go and undercut all the competition on the software side of things as well. When you do that, that's called monopoly and not the board game. So while you are allowed to use whatever business practices you want to utilize to further your company, to increase your user stakehold, whatever, you also cannot fall into monopolistic practices based on the size and reach of a parent company, for example. And I think Facebook might just be flirting with that line. Allegedly. The FTC is aware.
They're just keeping an eye out.
Yes. So, yeah. Yeah, the FTC is aware. We'll see if the FTC still has any teeth.
Yeah. Well, I'm not really aware of any. I mean, maybe I haven't really been paying attention to the software on the VR side of things, but I don't know of any Oculus exclusivity that's got anybody kind of chomping at the bit. At least not that I'm aware of, anyway.
Not It's not the big ones. It's a lot of the little studios that they're reaching out to and saying, kind of like Epic Games is doing, where we'll give you $1 million to release only on our platform, and they're like, hell, we were hoping for 500,000 in revenue. Like, yeah, we'll take that plus the game sales. And Epic Games can do that because they're not in the position of a monopoly. They're in the position of actually playing underdog to Steam and Origin and the Microsoft Store and everything else. And when you're trying to get a market base, that's one way to do it. And again, you can utilize that tactic so long as you are not the dominant party in the environment.
And most of the games that they do have, it's mostly timed exclusivity. It's not full exclusivity.
Yeah, it's we'll pay you to be exclusive on our platform for 12 months.
Yeah.
And that's not really seen as, limiting users and whatnot.
No.
Otherwise,
it's annoying. Yeah, it's annoying to some, people who don't like Epic or don't like using their platform, but are really looking forward to a game. Then they got to wait a little bit longer. But yeah, it's. I don't think they have, but maybe like a couple of absolutely exclusive games to their platform. Not that many, really. Right. Fortnite, obviously.
Yeah. Well, Fortnite. There's a number of others. They did that with Borderlands 3. That was an Epic. That was a timed exclusivity, and I think that one was even only 6 months. But that was their game plan. And they're also giving away free games every week, and that's another part of their game plan. But if you look conversely, Steam has the Steam sale where they regularly give you 90% off AAA titles, 3-4 times a year. And so that's their game plan. And so the market is balanced in that sense, in that
there's a lot more competition than just Steam anymore.
Right.
And Steam wasn't actively trying to squash Epic either.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. As Facebook, as already the dominant player in the VR space, and you could argue that yes, Valve also has some skin in that game on both the software and hardware side, but Oculus has the lion's share when it comes to the entry level, when it comes to the non-enthusiast. I mean, you're looking $300 all in for a complete VR package that you can play most AAA titles on, including streaming from your PC through Steam service if you wanted to, versus Steam, which has really gone, or Valve, which has really gone after the enthusiast crowd. Notice that the Valve Index starts at $1,000 for their headset and setup, and is, not even arguably better in pretty much every facet, except for the fact that it's not wireless. But it's a different market. It's a different segment that they're targeting.
You're going for high enthusiast level.
Right. Whereas when the Quest is that accessible, when the Quest is a third the price of most flagship phones, that puts it almost down towards impulse purchase or, quarterly present to myself kind of territory. $300 is fairly accessible for most people.
That's cheap. That is cheap.
Right.
I mean, that's cheaper than modern consoles.
It's cheaper than the consoles, right?
Yeah.
And then you tie in that system is a closed ecosystem that Facebook also buys out exclusivity for games to be produced on. You can start to see where this might be a problem in the FTC's eyes.
Well, we shall see what's going to happen. Because it looks like it's just in the investigation stage right now.
Yeah. Speaking of things we saw coming, NFTs. Let's talk NFTs.
Always a topic of joy.
I can't believe I have to talk about this. God, it's so stupid.
I know. This is dumb.
NFTs will find a new way to monetize things for creators. If you want to give creators money, then how about
just give them money?
Just giving them money, or how about commissioning something from them? Like, if you want a PC from me, I'll sell you a PC.
Oh yeah,
you're not gonna like my hourly rate, but I'll frickin' do it. I'm not gonna give you hardware. But I am a business. My ear is open to make money. And so if you want to support me as an artist, as a creator, as a whatever, like, my business contact is open. You can hit me on Twitter. You can, there are ways to contact me if you want to buy goods or services from me. NFTs is, gosh, I've heard so many inappropriate analogies for how to explain NFT, and I'm not sure which one to use here.
We had I thought we had a pretty good analogy last time we talked, which is basically like, when you're buying those bricks for
I think that's the best analogy.
Like when you're going to a project, but you don't even own the brick at that point. You're just like you just be able to point at it and say, yeah, that's mine.
Mitch Hedberg, don't even act like I didn't buy that donut. I got the documentation right here.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's back home in the file under D for donut.
For donuts.
Yeah, it's a receipt for a brick that you don't own.
Yes, exactly.
And which, who knows if that actually compensates the artist who inscribed the brick? Like,
you don't even know.
You don't even know. And so it is such a weird speculative market bubble that feels even dirtier than Beanie Babies. But here's the thing we all saw coming. That if all it is a digital transaction receipt of, yes, I own an interest, not even an interest in the art itself, but I simply own the QR code that leads to this thing. Like, I think that's the best analogy. I own the QR code that sends you to this link.
Right.
Then things we saw coming are, well, artists getting their likeness ripped off and NFTs sold of them.
Yeah.
And weirdly enough, Alana Pierce has kind of become the figurehead of this. Like, it's weird. So she's been very outspoken against NFTs and people selling them and potential abuse of the system and things like that. If you don't know who Alana Pierce is, former IGN writer and personality, and she has her own YouTube channel. It's a fantastic channel. She does a lot of game reviews, a lot of Let's Plays and streams. Great view every once in a while. Well, she kind of ran into this thing. Crap, none of the tweets are loading in now. Here. This is Alana's tweet from earlier in the week, and I'll just let the top of it speak for itself. In extremely predictable news, I've just been informed that somebody has taken an image of me, Alana Pierce, that I own, added a trademarked porn logo to it, and minted it to sell for a profit as an NFT. Naturally, I was not asked for permission.
Yeah.
So,
and she says right there, cannot wait for the lawsuits, but who is she going to sue?
Right. There's this one. Gaming Ghoul was also ripped off. People inquired to her for doing things earlier,
it was
Jimquisition. Yeah, Jimquisition.
Yeah,
sorry.
Jimquisition. Yeah.
I was thinking one name and then reading the tweet at the same time. Jimquisition being ripped off of their image and whatnot, and the list goes on and on. I mean, every single one of these is an NFT tweet. This one was probably my favorite, though. Experiencing a loss of taste, you may have COVID or NFTs. Got to give credit where credit's due. But if it's not traceable and not ownable, then how can you be sure that the artist actually gets compensated? How can you be sure that the NFT that you're buying had the permission of the original artist? Like, you don't, unless it comes from the original artist. In which case, just commission me for a picture or
piece of artwork,
artwork or whatever. Like, you want a Geordie LaForge mask? Like, that's my Twitter profile picture right now, is me wearing my Geordie LaForge mask. I'll sell you one. You're not going to like the price because I'm quite expensive. But if you want me to make you that same thing, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Or I'll sell you an NFT of that image.
I guess you can take a picture.
Why
of it.
not?
All right.
At this point.
We go. Yeah. I'll give you a QR code to it.
There you go. That's all I ask in return, Steve.
Well,
just a QR code.
You can take 360-degree pictures of it. Then you'll have 360 different pictures that you could sell.
Well, all I did was
of your visor.
Well, all I did was print an STL, so it seems like we're going in reverse now. I mean, I did source the brass bars that are, it's actual brass that's on the front of it. Polished them all up. Source the retro-reflective red dots that go on the side.
Yeah, you tell me all about that.
Yeah, like had
in depth.
Yeah, had to order those from. Like, you think it's like, oh yeah, it's just like a reflective red dot. No, it's like it has a pattern to it. And you have to get the pattern right. And the only place that I could find anything that was even remotely close to that pattern, I had to special order 3 sheets of paper from Taiwan and wait 3 months to get. Like, it was a process, okay?
Yeah, hell yeah. That's dedication, too.
Right.
I want to get it right.
Yeah. So, don't buy NFTs. Don't buy into speculative market bubbles, especially when you see that they're genuinely just speculative market bubbles. This is not financial advice, but can we be real? If this was about supporting artists, you can commission artists. I think that's my overwhelming point.
Most artists will say, "Yeah, I'll make."
Right.
And they'll give you a price.
Right. And that's the price. Like I said, if you want me to build you a computer, I can build you a computer, but it's gonna come at a price. So that's my way of like heating off all the like, I'll give you $100 to build me a computer that I will inevitably have to sift through tomorrow morning.
D has a good explanation. NFT is like having the marriage certificate to your mail order bride who left for Vegas 5 years ago. Right.
I technically, can I say own that?
Own that, yeah.
Is that PC? Chose her out in the catalog, took receipt of the crate,
Took it, left.
Yeah. You're full of energy. Oh man. You shouldn't be full of energy still.
We're just have her host.
Do you come say hi to everyone? All right. A little bit.
Hi. Hey, can you have one of those headphones?
Oh, yeah. I can give you one of these headphones. All right. Co-hosting is little bit. Oh, where's your ear at? I can't find it. Your hair is in the way.
Hello.
Why are you both up?
Hello.
Hello.
Hugs and kisses.
Okay. Give me hugs. Thank you.
Oh. What are you doing, me and Daddy?
That'd be cool.
What are we doing?
I don't know what we're doing anymore.
Yeah.
I want to talk to everybody.
You want to talk to everybody?
Say welcome to craft computing.
Welcome to craft computing.
There you go.
There we go.
Nice.
Wow, that's great.
Nicely done. Bump it.
You're gonna take over your daddy's job pretty soon.
That's right. Come on, bitch. All right.
I'm full of energy.
She's all full of energy. She didn't get meds. Good night, guys. I don't know what's going on.
Your show got rated in a different way.
Yeah. The best possible kind of raid.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. But on a live show, it's also so nerve-wracking that it's like, they're just going to say something. Like, I know they're going to say something.
I pooped my pants, Daddy.
Right. Like, I'm waiting for, I just peed all over the stairs. Or
Yeah.
Something.
Mommy got into the cocaine. Again.
My stash! Mother. Let's hear her opinion on NFTs. Let's hear her opinion on NFTs. You buy on the short.
Buy low, sell high.
Tell Daddy build me a computer. I've already done one of those.
Yeah. I built a computer for my wife, but now my son just uses it. She doesn't.
It's cool now. It's awkward in the after party when craft computing is 4 to 5 beers deep. Hey, 3 to 4 beers deep in the after party.
Yeah.
All right. Moving right along. Japan may have an interesting model for getting you a next-gen graphics card.
Oh, yeah. If you thought opening up loot crates from CSGO was exciting, just wait till you see what Japan has.
Just wait till you see actual loot crates.
Yeah.
Tell me how this isn't gambling.
Lucky box loot crates.
Well, this is a raffle. That's the difference.
Yeah.
See,
and I guess
that's the key word that the game developers didn't key in on was raffle. Because if it's gambling, it's illegal. But you can buy a raffle ticket at age 5.
Yeah, that's okay.
Right.
They sell them at a lot of
sell them at carnivals.
Kids school fairs and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, that's how Scholastic still exists as a company.
Oh yeah, let's put it in the raffle.
If you sell 38 books, we'll put you in a drawing to win this stuffed bear.
Yeah. You
and a hat.
You can have a box of pencils.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with this particular one, they have, I believe it's going for about $100, and you buy this box, and it has different percentages for having a potential graphics card, and I think there's a potential that there's nothing in there, I believe.
Yeah, according to the retail page, the mystery boxes, there's a 16% chance of getting a Maxwell series card and or an AMD Radeon RX 300. So we're talking RX 360, 370, 380, 390. Or sorry, R9 or even R7, because they don't exclude R7 from the nomenclature back then. So it was R7 350 360 or R9 370 380 390. 8% chance of getting a GeForce 10 Pascal or Radeon RX 500 Polaris or Vega series graphics card. 4% chance of a Turing 20 series or RX 5000 RDNA 1, and a 2% chance of an RTX 30 Ampere or RX 6000 RDNA 2 series. The boxes contain up to RTX 3090s and 6900 XTs. Yeah. You notice that there's a 70% chance of getting some other shit.
Not 100%.
That is Kepler or lower.
That means there's a 30% chance you get nothing, or something. I don't know. Maybe dog do. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it's not 100% that you're going to get something.
Well, it's 24, 28, 30. No, that adds up to 30. Okay. So there's a 100% chance you get a graphics card.
A card.
But there's a 70% chance it's a steaming pile of crap.
Yes, exactly.
And by the way, 900 series graphics card does not exclude a GTX 950. Let's be clear about the
9 series.
Yeah, this is not necessarily a 980 Ti.
Right. Yeah. Probably not even 970. Yeah, 950 is definitely within the realm of possibilities.
Right. So
and that's only a 16% possibility
that you get that good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's an 86% chance you get a 9 series or lower. Let's put it that way.
So while the temptation is probably there, it's you're going to be disappointed. Your $100 could end up getting you something that is definitely not worth $100.
I need to look into the legality of running a raffle on my channel. I don't do giveaways. I just flat out don't do giveaways. There are so many. I won't say I won't ever do a giveaway, but I will never do regular giveaways. I don't.
It's a big headache.
It's a giant headache. There's so many narcissistic, it's all about me people out there that make it so not fun to do anything. When I give things away, I much rather years ago I was on a Reddit forum, and some guy in France asked a question and said, "Hey, how can I water cool an RX 480? I have an RX 480. How can I water cool it?" And the PC Master Race, being what they are, no offense to Pedro, by the way, you're a great guy, but the PC Master Race hive mind jumped on that question and said, "Well, that's just stupid. Why would you water cool an RX 480? There are so much better uses of your money. You could like just hounded on this guy." Yeah. He had 30 responses, and every single one of them was, "You're an idiot.
This is dumb.
This is dumb." It's like, well, maybe an RX 480 is the best card that he can afford, because $300 in water cooling is still cheaper than a $900 graphics card.
And maybe he wanted to practice on a cheaper card before he went and potentially ruined a good card.
Right.
Who knows what his reasons are?
Right.
They're his reasons.
Yeah. I've water cooled lesser rigs before because they run quieter. That was the whole goal. And so I don't begrudge anyone the question of, how can I do this? Because sometimes the answer is because I can. Yeah. And you're not that person. It's not your money. It's up to them to determine whether or not it's a value situation. And so anyway, I got on there and I said, well, depending on what card it is, there's a couple of different blocks that you can get. AlphaCool makes a couple of universal blocks. They also make a series of universal blocks that will tie into full coverage water cooling systems if you have a compatible card. And I said, so what RX 480 do you have? And he goes, oh, I have this one from XFX. I happened to have the same XFX card, and I happened to have bought a water cooler for it like a year earlier. And I used the card mainly as a VR rig in the living room, and I eventually stumbled on a GTX 1080 and upgraded the rig and got a new water cooler. So I used a water cooler on it for like 6 months, but then the block just sat there. And I'm like, you know what? I have that exact same card. What's your address? I'll send it to you. You know why I did that? Because that guy can use it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not just like throwing a graphics card into the wind. And I have nothing against people who run giveaways at all. But it's the back and forth with the community. It's the people who follow you just for the giveaway. It's it's that community that follows. I'd rather a little natural growth and have an enthusiastic community.
You're not going to get a natural growth on that because those people are just there for the giveaway.
Right.
And the chances of them coming back
or engaging in a video at all.
Or and then you're going to have bigger numbers, but lower engagement.
Right.
So that's not really indicative of a good method of growing a channel or growing a community.
I think it can bring a community to you, but there has to be more to it than just I'm giving crap away.
Oh yeah.
Because giving crap away, unless you're in Tegza, is not a sustainable business model.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't do giveaways, and it's not because I don't think you guys are worthy of giveaways. It's because of all the other crap that comes with giving things away. But that's besides the point. I wonder the legality of me running a raffle like this of, hey, buy a $10 raffle ticket. I'll sell you an RTX 3090 or an RX 300 or RX, 6900 XT or,
something
like I have some graphics cards that I'm not using that are pretty good graphics cards that I don't necessarily need to hang on to. And I don't want to sell them for I don't want to be seen as scalping because no.
You're taking advantage of the market.
But
basically,
I don't think a raffle would be taking advantage of the market, but I could also seriously profit from that in a similar fashion.
Depending on how popular it gets.
Right.
I mean, a raffle could net you more than what it's worth. It could net you less. You don't really know. Right,
exactly. And if I sell 200 tickets, well, hell, that's $2,000. That's, beyond the retail price right now of a 6900 XT. But at the same time, I don't feel dirty because I only sold this card for $10 instead of $2,000 in reality. So Yeah, like I know there's jurisdictions to keep in mind. I know there's there's a bunch of different things, but yeah. Maybe I'll look into doing a couple graphics card raffles.
You could try doing the mystery box like these guys.
I don't know about a mystery box. Oh, trust me, I got some shit I could give away.
It's one way of just getting rid of a lot of the crap that you have there you don't need.
Yeah.
You could have something really good.
You could get a 3090. You could get an MX 440. Who knows?
You don't know. You never know.
It's technically lower than a Maxwell card.
That's true.
Raffle some NFTs. Could donate to a charity auction. I've considered doing that as well. I've considered doing charity auctions and things like that. But yeah, and the Atom board goes to well played and topical. Thank you, Skull.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, the Atom board. Well, I'm done with my first NA beer.
I'm almost done with my first.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, I'm going to crack this one open.
Go for it. I think by the time you're done, I can crack my next one.
Well, I already know. I'm already jealous of just your lager. So, whatever you come up with next, I'm definitely going to be jealous. I'm going to try the All Out Extra Dark from Athletic Brewing. Now, John says that when he had his whole month of just drinking NA beers, he said that Athletic was his favorite, or one of his favorites.
Yeah.
He thought that they kind of made the best craft.
And I've heard that
NA
from more
beers.
people than just John, too. So.
Yeah. So we'll see how this one goes. I mean, it looks like a nice, thick-headed, dark, stouty beer.
Oh, yeah. Do you have a phone next to you? I want to see if you can shine a light through that.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
We have to do John's test. We have to.
The John's.
That's impressive.
Not bad.
That's genuine. Like on the edge, you can kind of see it starting to refract.
You can kind of see
a
on the
little bit.
edge, yeah.
But in the center, that's gone.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You know, it smells pretty good. It smells super chocolatey.
Nice.
Not too bad. Not too bad aroma. It smells better than the IPA did. That's for sure. Oh wow.
Yeah.
This outside of the body being really thin, this tastes like a really good stout.
Nice.
It's got some roasty, dark, chocolatey notes to it. Yeah, I mean, it's like not as good as like say, like a Black Butte Porter or something like that, but it's around that taste.
But flavor wise, it's not letting you down.
No, flavor wise, it's not letting.
Okay,
you down.
yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, thick body is definitely something that's very hard to emulate, replicate.
That's the thing I've seen with all of the NA beers I've had. It's just they're always thin.
Yes.
They don't have that thick mouthfeel.
Right. They don't got that booty.
No. But flavor-wise on this one, I'm actually quite impressed with it coming up to taste like an actual stout.
Nice. All right. Well, give me 30 seconds here because I'm going to go grab my next beer out of the fridge. All
right. Go for it. I gotta see. I'll give the description of this NA beer. It says we're pioneering a craft beer revolution. Oh no, wait, this is just a description about their company, not the beer itself. I was hoping to see what exactly they wanted to call the style. It doesn't say whether it's a porter or a stout. So I guess I don't really know. It just says extra dark.
Extra dark.
Extra dark.
All right. So what I have next is technically a porter.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get you to guess this one.
Technically a porter.
It's a porter. It is sold in a 1 pint. So it's a 1 pint can. 9.5%.
Okay, the only porter that
it's
I know
a high
of,
porter.
Yeah. Well, I know San does it's a porter. They're pirate.
Pirate stouts.
Yeah,
it's pirate stout.
It's a stout. No, they did the Abbey porter.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Porter. I think that was an 8.
Yeah.
This one's from Matchless.
Okay. Matchless, I get mixed results from Matchless. Yeah, we'll see.
This one I have high hopes for.
Okay.
Hops are Warrior hops.
Okay.
They actually have the grain bill in here, which is pale oak smoked wheat, chocolate, and black. Ooh. The descriptors is better than a stack of flapjacks.
Oh, so it's going to be a maple based porter.
Yes.
It's not Great Notion, is it?
It's not Great Notion.
Okay, I was gonna say
Great Notion. This is Matchless.
Matchless. I have no idea. Oh, that's the one that
Matchless all smoked stack, barrel aged smoked maple porter.
Yeah, that sounds super interesting.
Yeah,
I'm super curious to see what you think of this.
Yeah. So I always talk really high about my local grocery store as being a pretty relevant bottle shop or competent bottle shop. They had this. They had 2021 Bourbon County Stout. They had 2019 and 2021 Abyss. They had War Tortoise. They had, and this is all on the same trip. And
that's War Tortoise from Lewitt, right?
Lewitt, yeah. Yes. So I went to the store for butter and butter and something else. I think we might have been out of salt. $250 later.
Wow.
So I bought 6 of the Bourbon County Stouts. I bought 2 War Tortoises. I bought 2 of these. I bought gosh, what is that? The 1050 Stout.
Oh, 1050 is good.
Yeah, 1050 had their Stout out in a 4-pack. So I bought that.
Kind of like hi
honey, I'm home.
when your wife sends you out to get groceries, don't go past the beer aisle.
Yeah,
stay away from the beer aisle.
Today she specifically sent me down the beer aisle because she wanted some cider, and I'm like, are you sure that's a good idea? You saw my last shopping trip.
Oh man, that looks thick. See, that's the difference between
not terribly thick. Actually, this one looked a little thinner to me, interestingly enough.
Does it smell smoky?
Doesn't really smell all that smoky.
Okay.
That maple is in there. It's not hitting you right up top. You got to dig for the maple a little bit. Austin asks, where do I shop? I also live in Portland. There are 2 main bottle shops that I go to. There's John's Marketplace up near Terwilliger. And then there's Terwilliger, Broadway, whatever.
It's off of Multnomah.
Multnomah. There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's John's Marketplace, and then there's Capital Market down in Salem. Mm-hmm. Those are the 2 that the actual bottle shops that I frequent. And I am certifiable. Austin Roth's usually has a nice selection of IPAs. Yeah, Roth's is also a fantastic stop.
Yeah.
Local IGA, was local IGA, recently bought by a Canadian conglomerate.
That's right.
Is it thicker than KBS? Ooh.
I think you haven't taken a sip yet,
have you? I'm enjoying the nose.
Just tickles the nose hairs.
It does. It's pleasant.
It's like your nose hairs are taking a dip into some maple syrup. Good.
Oh. I'm gonna need a minute.
You know, I could just go upstairs and get some maple syrup and then dump it in here, smoke a cigarette, just
you know,
I could get the same thing.
It's not really all that smoky.
Okay.
Let me now.
Well,
now
I'll just do one cigarette, not a whole
because
pack.
it's a porter. I kept it cold. I didn't let it warm up for the hour before I opened it. I wanted this one to be served cold because I wanted the full evolution. With stouts, you can start with them at 50 and let them warm up to 65.
Yep.
With porters, I want to start colder. And this one, all I'm getting is really just that light-bodied maple syrup.
Thinking. Spinning wheel.
Tastes like pancakes. I mean, just like straight up, like that's what it is. It says barrel-aged smoked maple porter. I'm guessing the smoke will come out later. I'm guessing the smoke will come out as it warms up a little bit.
And probably more chocolatey flavors too, I would think, because usually with porters
there is some chocolate there. There is some bitter dark chocolate notes there. Yeah, chocolate chip pancakes with a light bodied maple syrup. It ain't no Mrs. Buttersworth thick.
Right.
This is a gourmet thinner warmed up maple syrup. This is IHOP on a Sunday morning. Maple syrup.
Because I have seen those cans at my local liquor store.
More than
I don't know.
It's like you went twofer at IHOP and you went maple syrup and butter pecan. That's what I'm getting.
Okay. Sounds good. I like it with butter pecan.
Yeah. No, there's definitely notes of butter in there. There's lots of good stuff in there. I'm digging that. And I think I'm going to dig it more as the night goes on.
And you said it's like, what, 9%?
9.5, yeah.
9.5.
Yeah. Yes, 9.5. Okay. Magic Rat sends over $10. Thank you very much, sir. Always thankful for an excuse to drink too much on a work night. Believe it or not, I did this show fully employed for 3 years.
Yeah.
Speaking of drinking too much on a work night.
Well, it doesn't matter. You can sleep in tomorrow. Your boss says you can't.
My boss, now.
Yeah.
Now I've got Thursdays penciled out in the morning. Let's roll in at a loose 11 is kind of my Thursday schedule.
Rhett knows he doesn't have to do anything till 11 on a Thursday.
Yep. Yeah, that's just wonderful.
It's like breakfast but drinking.
That's like I know I'm supposed to wax poetic about the deep, like all the layers of flavors that are going on. This is a beer that really doesn't make you think, but it is really just what's right there.
What's on the label?
It's a little bit of chocolate from the porter. Like I said, I'm guessing some smoke will come out. You don't really taste any bourbon or barrel or oak or anything like that.
Right.
Except just in the late aftertaste.
Okay.
Like a minute after I've taken a drink, my mouth just tastes just a little bit oaky. And it's not a bad flavor at all. And in fact, the maple is still there too. But you get like this little reminiscence of the LaCroix of barrel aged. But I mean that in the best possible way.
The shadow of a fart of some bourbon.
Right. But this is a beer that's exactly what it says right here. It is a barrel aged smoked maple porter. All the flavors are there. They're not really making me dig for them. It's just wonderful.
Good.
I like it.
I'll have to go keep an eye out. Get it. Try it once February comes around.
Yeah. Let's get into some beer news now that we've cracked open our second ones.
Yeah.
By the way, Harley sends over a $5 super chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Harley.
Kind sir. Still nursing the 13.5% barley wine from the beginning of the show. Ooh.
Oh, nice.
You have Steve's attention.
I love a good barley wine. I do. There was a barley wine that came up on Trevor that it was a fruited barley wine, which I have never had.
Really?
I've never seen a fruited, but it was a strawberry barley wine.
Did John make it?
I was just gonna say it's a John style. It's got whole strawberries still in there. Yeah,
you got to kind of shake the bottle while you're pouring it.
You take a fork, get the chunks out first.
John likes to make his beer Heinz style, where you have to take a knife and scrape around.
extra thick.
Sorry, John.
It's a jammy beer, but you have to jam it up after you pour all the fruit out.
It still needs to be muddled.
So you gotta take a muddle through it.
Speaking of beer news, Monster is getting into the craft beer business.
Yeah. Well, their cans already look like a beer can anyway, so you know.
They really do. Well, really, that was the mark of the devil.
Yeah. Oh no, what was it? Was it the mark of the devil? I thought it was the beast.
Mark of the beast. That's right.
Yeah.
The 3 lines, mark of the beast.
The 3 lines.
The claws.
It's supposed to 666 in Hebrew or something like that.
Yes.
What was it?
All right, yep. Karen.
Every time I drink one,
it's not my fault your husband left you.
I do feel like making Armageddon.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't take that and use that as a marketing.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's like, hey, are you Armageddon some Monster energy drink?
Armageddon some Monster. Unleash the beast.
Yeah, unleash the beast.
So for those who don't know, Coca-Cola is the parent company of Monster energy drinks. And there's been a lot of talk between Pepsi and Mountain Dew, where Pepsi owns the Mountain Dew company, and Mountain Dew, as some of you may or may not know, was one of the original moonshine mixers, marketed as such. Mountain Dew apparently is flirting with sending out an alcoholic beverage of their own. But Monster is said to be entering a deal with craft beer brands where they would purchase Cigar City, Oskar Blues, Deep Elysium, Perrin Brewing, Squatters, and Wasatch Brewing. As well as the affiliated restaurants with all of those. So it'd be a pretty good little holding. I mean, Oskar Blues makes some really good stuff. Cigar City is one that I've
makes
seen.
Some good stuff, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm not familiar with Perrin Brewing, but I've heard of Squatters and Wasatch both.
I've had some Wasatch.
Yeah. Deep Ellum, I don't think I've heard of them. But this would not be a bad little start if you're looking to get into the craft beer market.
I mean, as long as they, don't poke their nose in there too much and kind of leave them alone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't see any problem. Yes, Cigar City is a real good one. I've been to their brewery quite a few times. Oskar Blues definitely is a super popular one you can get just about anywhere. Yeah. So yeah, I those are some good gets, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've talked about this before, about conglomerates taking over craft breweries, and there's this outcry from, I'll just say hipsters, like, well, now the man owns it, so I don't want anything to do with it. I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth, and I'm not one to not drink a beer just because so-and-so owns it.
Yes.
I enjoy the craft of beer, and as long as the craft stays in the beer,
right,
I'm totally fine, regardless of how many barrels they produce a year.
Yeah. That was one of the big initial fears when, especially here in the Pacific Northwest, where a lot of craft breweries started getting bought up.
10
Biggest
barrel.
one being 10 barrel. Yeah. People are like, oh, it's going to be commercialized. They're going to change their formula. It's going to be not good. But 10 barrel still cranks out really
10
good
barrel,
stuff.
Elysian,
Elysian definitely still cranks out good stuff.
Think about some of the big names that are here in the Northwest and the big names that have been taken over by InBev, Coors, etc. We still hold them in high esteem as craft breweries.
Oh yeah, Goose Island. People still
Goose Island.
It's
an InBev product.
It's an InBev product, and they still do their yearly release, and people still go nuts for them.
Right. And so, as long as you keep to what got you there,
right,
just with a bigger distribution network, which Monster would certainly bring to Oskar Blues and Elm Brewing and yada yada. This really isn't a bad acquisition.
No. I just looked up. I don't think I had anything from Perrin Brewing.
Yeah, Perrin's the one that I went, who?
Yeah. Let's see, Deep Elysium Brewing Company. Did I have anything from them? No, I don't have anything from them either. No check-ins from them.
Yeah.
They're from Dallas, Texas.
Only two things come from Texas, so.
There's Wasatch, and I know I had some Wasatch, but I can't remember what. Oh, there's two. Ghost Rider IPA and Polygamy Porter. All right.
Polygamy Porter.
Yep.
Oh, are we talking about absinthe in the chat?
Oh.
Yeah, there's some fun discussion about absinthe. Absinthe has a history, and it's not one that anyone's told you. Can I learn this secret? Not from a Jedi. Yeah, so absinthe has a dirty name because it was called a hallucinogenic back in the 30s and 40s. Do you know why it was called a hallucinogenic? It's because it's kind of wine-like in the way that it's produced, and it was infringing on the wine sales and distribution. And so the winos, the wine producers of the world, spread falsities about it being a hallucinogenic, and people will literally like eat people's faces when they drink absinthe and crap like that. It's wormwood. You know what else is made of wormwood? Vermouth.
Mm-hmm. Wormwood's not gonna.
Never. Well, I mean, maybe Winston Churchill after like 3 martinis. Although, to be fair, Winston Churchill also said the proper amount of vermouth in a martini is to have the bottle stare angrily at my gin from across the bar. Yeah. But wormwood is not a hallucinogenic. There's nothing hallucinogenic about wormwood. There's wormwood in plenty of other spirits, most famously vermouth. I have a bottle of absinthe on my shelf, and I haven't hardly eaten anyone's face this year. Although it is only January.
It's not that. Not
going to talk about last
in the year.
Yeah.
Only 3 faces.
Yeah. So yeah. Did you see the How to Drink on Absinthe? Which one? Because I know early on he did an absinthe cocktail, which is essentially a sugar cube with absinthe in the bottom that you pour cold water over. And the sugar, when it hits the absinthe, activates the chlorophyll and some of the other biogenic ingredients or organic ingredients. Biogenic, that sounds so wrong. Organic ingredients in the absinthe reacts to it and creates this like green colored effect. And is a fantastic drink by all regard.
I do like how absinthe tastes. It's kind of got that black licorice flavor to it.
Totally.
I like it.
Anyone ever had a Sazerac? It's fantastic.
Oh yeah, it's delicious.
Right. That's why I have absinthe, because I like making Sazeracs, and I like making them as traditionally as possible. So I have a bottle of 110 proof absinthe on my shelf. Wormwood is the key component in all level 5 spells in every magic-based game. Yes. It's 2022. Hallucinogenics are making a comeback. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's amazing how long those marketing tales that they bored into people's skulls stay around.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the whole thing with carrots help your eyesight type of a thing was British propaganda about why they could find the German planes at night is because they didn't want the Germans to know they had radar technology. And they say, oh, we just eat a lot of carrots. It makes our eyesight good.
Yeah.
And then it became an old wives' tale that carrots make your eyesight good.
So someone tried correcting me on my martini quote from Winston Churchill. And they said, let me scroll back up to it. Martini, gin, not vodka, obviously, stirred for 15 seconds whilst glancing at an unopened bottle of vermouth. Winston Churchill's actual quote was, "I would like to observe the vermouth from across the room while I drink my martini." And I've also heard it as stare angrily across the bar. So
they all work good.
Yes. However you have your martini, vermouth or stay the F away. Enjoy what you drink.
I like a splash of vermouth.
I like a splash.
But I also like.
I like a rinse.
I also like mine.
I like a rinse.
I like mine also dirty too. I do like it.
I don't do dirty martinis.
Oh, I like dirty martinis.
You would. I like a rinse of vermouth around the martini glass while you're. So I chill the glass and then I dump it, and then I rinse with vermouth and then I dump that, and then it's gin.
Yeah.
And there's my martini.
No olives? You don't do any olives?
I don't do any olives.
Cocktail onions, nothing like that?
Nope. I've done cocktail onions before. Those are okay.
Okay.
And
some people don't like olives, and I get that, but God, I love olives.
I don't like
olives.
The
garlic
stuff.
The garlic.
Like I'll accept olives as toppings on salads and pizzas and things like that.
Right.
It's okay. Sandwiches, sure. Biting an olive out of a martini glass, not a fan.
Well, you're not a big pickle fan either.
Not a big pickle fan.
Yeah, you got close to the pickle area.
Yeah,
you come to olives.
We're dangerously close to enemy territory here.
Yeah. Pickle land borders on olive world. So
yes.
Yeah.
And as Skull says, a wild techno Tim appears with a $5 donation. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Tim. Shout outs right back to you. If you guys like the network content that I do, go check out Techno Tim. Up and comer in the space. Just crossed 70,000 subscribers, if my memory serves correctly. So if you like me, you'll like him. Go give him a look. Gimlet, anyone? Oh God, you're talking to the two right people here.
I love. Oh gosh, I love those.
Ooh man, Steve and I have had many a conversation over a couple gimlets.
Oh yes, and they're so simple and easy to make, and they're absolutely delicious.
Yeah, and it's pronounced gimlet, by the way.
Yeah, gimlet. I said gimlet.
I know. I'm just making sure everyone else knows.
Okay. There's some people call it gimlet.
Yeah.
And that's,
That's like GIF. It's wrong.
It's okay. Whatever.
GIF, gin. That's all I'm saying.
GIF, gin.
If you got another word to correct me with, feel free.
I was just saying. Okay, we missed a super chat.
Did we?
From Freddie Westside,
$5.
Yellow Spot Irish whiskey and drinking it right down the street from Matchless. Oh, so he's really close to Matchless.
How did I miss that? Well, hello, Freddie, and thank you.
Yeah,
I do appreciate that. Novella Hub wants to remind me of today's video sponsor, which happens to be none other than Linode. Who else would be sponsoring Talking Heads?
Linode.
Today's video of Talking Heads is brought to you by Linode. If you ever oh gosh, can I just start this over? Hold on.
Go for it.
Linode deserves my full attention. If you've ever wanted to host your own servers, whether it be for home or business use, but don't have the resources or time to invest into hardware, power, cooling, or even space, who the hell wrote this? Why not let Linode host them for you? That'd be me. If it runs on Linux, it'll run on Linode. That includes the software for most of the tutorials on my channel, like how to run your own ad-blocking recursive DNS server, VPN gateway, your own cloud-based Plex server, and more. With shared CPU plans starting at as little as $5 per month and scaling up to as high as you need to go, you'll be able to find a hosting plan that fits your needs. And even if you do host your own servers, you can use Linode to keep a backup off-site. Because remember, RAID is not a backup. Linode also recently announced they are the first alternative cloud provider to have NVMe block storage available to all customers. In September, they began rolling out NVMe drives to all 11 of their global data centers. Best of all, storage rates will remain at the same low price they always have been. Visit linode.com/craftcomputing and get a $100 60-day credit when signing up for a new account. That's linode.com/craftcomputing, and a huge thanks to Linode for putting up with whatever this is.
That's right.
Thank
and with
you,
a laptop or a tablet, you can enjoy Linode on the commode.
Steve, I kind of want them to keep sponsoring.
I'm just saying they're versatile. You can take them anywhere.
Steve, they pay for this.
like a green eggs and ham.
Yeah.
I will enjoy Linode in the commode. I will enjoy it here or there. I will enjoy it everywhere.
Great. Now I have to write an entire green eggs and ham.
Well, Linode's, their logo's all green. They got green. It kind of fits. This is free marketing here. This is genius stuff.
You can reach the cloud in a house. You can reach the cloud with a mouse. You can reach the cloud here or there. You can reach the cloud anywhere.
There you go. It writes itself.
I had the finishing line and then I lost it.
I
do so love green because Linode green.
Yeah.
Thank you. Jeff, I am.
Jeff, I am. That's right.
Gosh. Don't make me do that.
People will love it.
Now, what's funny is I read Green Eggs and Ham to my daughters all the time.
So you should know it.
And I would eat them in the rain and in the dark and on a train. And I would eat them in the tree. They are so good, you see. Like, I got the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So... yeah, no, I'm all about the Linode Green Eggs and Ham. Like, that might become a thing. We'll see.
That could be a thing. All right, hey,
we'll have to see. Speaking of InBev not ruining everything, InBev is supposedly turning into Willy Wonka by offering a chance at a $1 million tour, $1 million cash prize for finding the golden bottle. The golden can. So apparently Budweiser has slipped some golden cans into select cases of Budweiser. Now, these are 24-pack cans. There are 10,000 golden cans spread across the country. Yeah, that's quite the winning there. Is it one can equals $1 million, or is this like one can equals a chance to win $1 million? That's what I can't quite understand.
Really say.
Yeah, because it says there are 10,000 cans. You've heard of Golden Chocolate Bar Ticket, but what about the Golden Beer Can? Live Like a King sweepstakes. Anheuser-Busch owned beer company put 10,000 golden cans of beer in 24-can packs of his signature beer distributed across the U.S.
Oh, it says on February 21st, the company will announce a randomly selected
of
winner
the 10,000. Okay.
Of the 10,000.
Okay. So yeah. It's 1/10,000th of one chance to win $1 million. Okay.
But it also says, as people can submit entries without finding beer cans, the odds of winning.
You have to say no purchase required,
$1
no purchase necessary, void where prohibited. Like, I do understand some of the raffle aspect, and again, I need to look into the legality of a GPU raffle aspect before I commit to anything here or there.
What they do say is that you can print out a golden sleeve,
or in a house or with a mouse.
Hey, with a mouse,
That's right.
There you go. You
can reach it with a mouse. You can reach it in your house. Like I said, it writes itself. It really does. Thank you, Linode.
Yeah, so anybody can make an entry. You just print out a sleeve, and then you got to wrap it around a can, and then send the can in.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, are people really going to do that? I don't know.
Hell, even I might do that.
It's like, I don't know if you ever watched the was that show Nathan For You?
Yeah.
Where he was doing like this insanely big gas rebate, but you could only you had to fill out a form, and there was only one mailbox where you could submit the form, and you had to hike all the way to the top of this mountain, and that's where the mailbox was.
Yep. I've done more for less, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he was like, I think there was like 6 people who showed up to do it. It's like, oh, you gotta show up at the base of this trail, and then you bring your rebate slip, and we'll refund you. You gotta hike up with me to the top of the mountain.
How do I get my refund? Well, first you must go on a journey.
Yeah, that show was great. I was bummed that they canceled it.
Yeah,
I got like 2 seasons, I think. 2 or 3 seasons.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's finally get into our title story.
Yeah.
Which is the Microsoftivision-Blizthesda game studio, which is now a thing.
It's a big thing now.
For those who didn't wake up yesterday and say, what the crap, yesterday morning at like 5:30 in the morning, it was announced that Microsoft will be acquiring in whole Activision Blizzard. And all subsidiaries, all studios, all IP, everything, all of it. 100% wholesale gone. If only I had an extra $69 billion laying around, I would have considered the same.
Yeah.
Although I'm looking at the current market value of Squaresoft going, maybe I can get a $7.5 billion loan. Like,
it might not be that bad.
Right?
It's a good investment. Yeah.
Right.
You could take a loan, go to the local bank. They'll be like,
have you ever ran a game studio before? No.
Yeah, no. It runs itself. It's fine.
Right. So yeah, Microsoft to acquire Activision Blizzard. For those living under a rock, that includes all of the properties below, including Overwatch, Diablo, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, StarCraft. I feel like I shouldn't have to mention Candy Crush and King Gaming, but it's in the headline. It's like, really?
Well, they do make a lot of money because they're big mobile things, so...
but that is Treyarch Software, that is Raven Studios, that is High Moon. Like, these are some big name studios. Raven Studios famously producing a lot of LucasArts games in their heyday.
Oh yeah, in their heyday, back then. No, I have a friend who just started working for Raven Software.
Oh, nice. Now a Microsoft employee.
Yeah, I know. So I was gonna text him the other day. It's like, oh, you're a Microsoft employee now, eh?
Yeah, does that come with access to the employee gym, or like is that?
Probably.
What are the perks of being a Ravensoft employee?
I've never been to the studios. I have no idea. Yep. You get all the fried Raven you want. I don't know.
Now I'm thinking World of Warcraft now on Game Pass. It could be.
It could be. Yeah,
and all of Sierra Game Studios. Now there's an IP library.
Oh yeah.
That hasn't been looked at in 20 years.
All those old King's Quest games.
Yep. Will we finally get the Mask of Eternity reboot we deserve?
No. They ain't going back to that.
Oh, come on.
I actually kind of like Mask of Eternity. It was kind of fun.
I did. I played the crap out of Mask of Eternity because what other game was there at the time besides Ocarina of Time that was a full 3D role-playing action-adventure game?
It's true. That's true.
There was not another game. And so...
I just remember the draw distance on the thing was absolutely horrible.
Horrendous, even for the day.
Yeah, it was
like
really
in 98, bad. I was going, could we extend this a little bit? Are there mods to...
I always thought it was just that they were trying to make it atmospheric and there's a lot of fog, but no, it was just the draw distance.
The draw distance was awful, and I'm like, well, maybe it's because I didn't have a 3DFX card, and so finally I got like a glide wrapper for it, and I went, oh, it's even worse with 3DFX.
Yeah, and I'm also wondering too if because a lot of Microsoft's games are being put on Steam, if BattleNet's just going to go away and they're going to just throw everything on Steam.
Hopefully.
That would be nice. Oh. Yeah.
I am... It's difficult to say in this day and age and this climate. I've long been a Blizzard fan. I mean, Steve, you and I have long stretching memories of Diablo 2.
Oh, yes.
And StarCraft and World of Warcraft and like go back, like they put out some dynamite titles that I've sank thousands of hours into.
Oh yeah.
I pre-ordered the Diablo 2 Resurrected pack before all of the allegations and misconduct and whatnot came out. And I also pre-ordered at a time where they were promising that personal LAN servers would still be a thing.
Right.
And I went, I am all about the LAN party.
Let's do it.
I am all about self-hosted LAN party. Let's totally do this. I want a license. Hell, I'll buy 4 because I want to have some friends over in my house playing, my own personal Diablo world. Like, that's what I want.
All enclosed, yeah.
Then they canceled LAN. And I went, well, now I'm a little pissed. And then the misogynistic BS comes out, and I went, well, now I don't even know if I can morally play this. Mm-hmm. I had already pre-ordered it. It was too late to cancel the pre-order. I never logged into Battle.net. I just downloaded a cracked copy. And I have a clear conscience, let me tell you that much. Like, they got their money, but I'm not giving them anything else. Hopefully, with some new leadership, with some new... And here's the difficult part about this, is the Diablo 2 remaster is a masterclass in how remasters should be. It is 100% built on the original engine with all the modern features and graphical enhancements you could want, but the gameplay is 100% dependent on the original engine.
So there's no everything that you loved and that feel and how it worked.
The feel, the gameplay, the mechanics are 100% identical to what they were back then. And I mean 100. Like, they didn't even bug fix. They just went.
There's still some glitches in there.
Oh yeah, but that's what a remaster should be. It should be we're making this game just for a modern platform. So, back then it was 800 by 600. Wow, that's a powerful graphics card we need.
Yeah. Well,
now it's like 1080. Yeah, like let's up this a little bit. Widescreen. So, but there's a button there's a hotkey in the Diablo 2 remaster that you can hit that you can switch off the new mode and go back to 800 by 600 in the screen that you're still looking at.
Does it adjust the resolution back to 8?
Oh yeah, it fades it down, and like your widescreen just kind of like fades away, and all of a sudden you're left with a 4:3 screen that's 800 by 600 rendered resolution in all of its pixelated glory, and it's exactly as I remember it. And and as someone who recently reinstalled Diablo 2 on period correct hardware, let me tell you, the gameplay's identical. Like A to B direct comparison, it's the same game. So I have a lot of respect for the development team, the game team, the graphics team at Blizzard, at Activision. Not so much respect for their leadership.
Yeah.
Or their company, or their moral foundings, or whatever else. So
in this case, Microsoft's kind of a step up in your eyes. I mean,
good guy Mike. Like, I've been on the good guy Microsoft train since like 2017, when Nadella came on board as CEO, and he started introducing not only open source into Microsoft OSs, but also saying like .NET. Why isn't this on Linux?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that thing's great. .NET is
right.
A perfect example of going through let's make this more widely available to everybody and everything.
Right. And let's make sure that PowerShell has proper documentation. Oh, and by the way, you can also use PowerShell in Linux. You can also do this, you can also do that. Like the good guy Microsoft moves that used to be seen as the absorb, abolish, whatever, there was the 3-letter acronym for acquire, absorb, abolish. I think is what it was. It was something along those lines, that Microsoft would buy out a company, or they would make a product that was better than the company they were competing with, and then make sure that they were the standard, and then they would say, oh, we're also going to implement 3 features that this other company has no chance in hell of doing, so they're just going to die. Yeah. And that was the philosophy. Or they would acquire a company and then just kill them.
Cutthroat.
Microsoft's been acquiring, but they haven't been following through on the other 2 steps. And I've been saying this for almost 4 years now. Like, This is episode 219. I've got some track record behind me of saying Microsoft's not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not quite to the point of saying good guy Microsoft, but I'm also saying Microsoft has turned a new leaf and they're not doing what they did in the 90s.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, even
embrace, extend, extinguish. There it is.
Yeah. They took, when they took Mojang, you know, they thought a lot of people were thinking they're going to kill the Java version. They're not going to,
right?
You know, because
Java has never been better.
Yeah, oh, yeah. They still have the Java version of Minecraft.
Sorry.
I mean, even though
I feel dirty.
Even with the foundation edition is one that comes with Windows, right? I think so. Yeah, that's the one that they monetized, and they could totally make more money if they kill off the Java version. Mm-hmm. But they don't. They still support it, and they still keep updating it.
Right. Microsoft, when they initially took over Mojang, which, by the way, they killed OX10C, which I was totally looking forward to, which was Notch's Minecraft in space.
Yes.
Adventure with like programming built into it. Like programming is a required skill for piloting spaceships, and you had to know basic networking mechanics to operate your space. I wanted that so bad. I'm still pissed about that. Anyway, when Microsoft took over Mojang Studios and they introduced Bedrock as their Windows 10 Minecraft platform, they went, wow, there goes the modding community, there goes the texture pack community, there goes everything that made Minecraft so good.
Great. Yeah.
Instead, Microsoft has continued to match feature for feature and continue upgrading the Java version because that's where their user base is.
Yep.
And so, they tried to use it as a launching point for Windows 10. And when that failed, they went, screw it, let's keep supporting Minecraft instead of just killing this IP outright. And where Minecraft started to have a little bit of a lull in 2015, 2016, it's done nothing but accelerate since Microsoft took it over.
Yeah, it's exploded now. It has its second win right now, basically.
I don't think it's ever been more popular than it is today.
Yeah, it's something that Microsoft took and made it bigger.
Right. So this is not the Microsoft of old, and I don't think anything but good can come to those properties, to StarCraft, Warcraft, Diablo. Don't you guys have phones? Like,
that crap.
If I could never hear that phrase again, that'd be fantastic.
That would be great.
Like if we could stop trying to pander and try to just weed out the 1% whales to milk for profit, and instead invest in a community that cares deeply about gaming and get back to that as a foundation of our company.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
While still making a profit. Like,
well,
I don't begrudge anyone that.
They're not a charity, but put out a good product.
Right.
You know?
But put out a good product and you'll sell it. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
Be the good guy and people will support you. I know it's freaking weird.
I was like reading an article about what other potential IPs that they have. They also
the entire Sierra library intrigues me to no end.
They have Tony Hawk is going to be part of that. Spyro is part of that. Crash Bandicoot is part of that.
Yep.
GoldenEye even.
Yeah.
Is part of that.
GoldenEye's back home.
That's right.
That has been an IP that has been through so many hands and had so many fingers into it, and then all those fingers were ripped off one by one. And all of a sudden,
so many homemade projects and remasters and all kinds of things. I think I can count like maybe 3 remastered GoldenEye things that were just like projects that people had wanted to take on.
I'm sorry, the porn bots are just making me crack up right now.
Is there porn bots?
There's a couple porn bots that just hit. And Loveface, hey, I'm waiting you on 18 plus stream.
I must have missed that one.
Loveface XYZ, I'm waiting you on 18 plus stream.
Oh, is that on the...
That's the message.
Oh, wait, there it is. I see it.
Yeah. It was hidden. We're 2 syllables away from me love you long time. Like...
Yeah.
Gosh. Anyway. Yeah, I am so looking forward to what Microsoft does with some of these IPs. Now, this deal will not close until mid-2023, and Bobby Kotick will stay on until that point, at which point he has been pretty much informed that you will be stepping down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love how last week Microsoft and Sony both released statements saying we're reevaluating our partnership with Activision Blizzard at this time.
Yeah.
And Sony went, yeah, we're going to start distancing ourselves from them. And Microsoft went, we're going to buy them.
Buy you, yeah.
I got the scratch.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's come walking into the office with a tape measure. Let's see. Tear down this wall.
That color's definitely going to have to change.
Yeah, we gotta get rid of that.
Let's see. The Kool-Aid fountain goes over there.
You get the margarita fountain.
Yes. All right. I stalled it as long as I possibly could.
Oh yeah.
There's 15 minutes left in the show. Let's talk some Star Trek.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So first off and foremost, some business keeping, as it were. There have been some announcements as far as some existing IPs and some new coming IPs in the franchise. Starting with the Star Trek Discovery was renewed for a full season 5. Star Trek Picard has a release date for season 2 of March 3rd, so just over 5 weeks away. And Brave New Worlds, which is the
Strange New Worlds.
Strange New Worlds, excuse me.
Strange New Worlds, yeah.
Strange New Worlds has a release date of May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. So you get to pour some tequila and watch Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
Which of all the episodes from Discovery,
Alex Jones says Star Wars. There's people chanting. We'll get to Star Wars. I'm going to tie that up in the next story. Okay? Everyone chill. We're going to do both. What?
But the ones with Captain Pike where they had the one-off episode where it was an episodic episode, didn't have anything to do with the overarching storyline. I liked that one.
Yeah.
Because it felt like original Star Trek.
Felt like it should.
It felt like it should.
Right? What bums me out so much is this leads perfectly into the next story. Let's just start with that. Okay. I'll start with this has been a rumor for a long time, but this is a new evolution of that rumor in that Quentin Tarantino is in talks with Paramount to produce a Star Trek TV series, likely for Paramount Plus. The reason this intrigues me is Tarantino is a vocal supporter of Star Trek. He has said, I love Star Trek. I love all of the Star Treks. I don't just love the original. I love TNG. I love DS9. I love Voyager. I love Enterprise. Discovery's okay. But I love Star Trek and I want to do something with it. Like, I think I can bring value to your franchise.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, when someone who is passionate about a franchise gets involved, that's when good things happen. When someone in a suit gets given a franchise and says, here, you drive the ship.
Yeah.
We get some questionable decisions.
You get committee Trek.
Right. You get Trek by committee as what do the fans really want? And how will that appeal to 2022 audiences?
You get a sci-fi show in a Star Trek skin suit.
You get Star Trek Discovery referencing sequel vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
And yes, that actually happened.
Yeah.
Like the CSI writers got a hold of Star Trek. Shockingly enough, it was CBS. And so it becomes this diluted action fest where you can't explore strange new worlds. You can't throw anything new at the audience because the audience doesn't want anything new. They want to be coddled and comfortable and just told a predictable story like they've been told in every freaking action sitcom since 24. Whereas someone like Quentin Tarantino or someone like Seth MacFarlane trying to get a studio to back them to make a Star Trek. that is nothing but great news for Star Trek.
Of course, especially fans.
Something like Jon Favreau getting access to do Mandalorian. The best Star Wars that's been done since
in a long time.
Since the original trilogy.
I would say,
and you could say since Rogue One. Let's just say since Rogue One.
Since Rogue One. That was entertaining.
Since people who respected the franchise, loved what it was passionate about the storytelling, and wanted to carry on that tradition and not just make money off of it. And while making money is always the end goal, you know when the passion's not there. You absolutely know it. And so I'm going to tie in the Star Wars, let's talk Boba Fett, let's talk Mandalorian, let's talk Solo, let's talk the sequel trilogy, and let's talk Picard versus Discovery versus Tarantino's vision of the universe. Like, let's tie all of this together with one nice bow. I think Star Trek Picard is more of a passion project than Star Trek Discovery. I think Star Trek Discovery is let's continue using the IP, but let's try to get mass adoption.
Right. That's what it seems like to me. Like I said, it seems like a sci-fi with a Star Trek skin suit.
Right.
They skin Star Trek and they just slapped it on a sci-fi show.
My wife has been watching Scorpion, God rest her soul.
Oh,
lately.
Really?
She's been on a Scorpion binge, and yes, we're still married. But every time I walk in the room, I lose like 7 brain cells because of the other day she was watching an episode where they were trying to prevent a dam from bursting. It's like, that's not the job you put the IT staff on.
Usually that's what I do.
For fuck's sake. Like, as an IT guy, I've been involved in projects that were well beyond IT, but I wasn't the project lead.
Yeah.
For God's sakes.
You were probably there to like, we have.
Nor was I all that glamorous in my role. Like,
people weren't shooting at you?
No. I didn't even have to leave my desk. Like the IT involvement was me phoning into an interview from my cubicle. Occasionally doing an in-person meeting where I had 7 minutes to like go over my concerns for the project. Like that was the itinerary for that 4-hour endeavor.
Remoting into a server and fixing something isn't exactly the most exciting thing to film.
Right.
So, I mean,
never once did I have to drive a Bugatti behind a 747 because Wi-Fi is not a thing in this universe, and dangle an Ethernet cable out and hold on, the 747 has to take off again, so we have to jet up the engines. Oh, the Bugatti can't go that fast. Bullshit, the Bugatti can't go that fast.
Oh, that was horrible.
You see my problem.
That was the one and only episode of that show I watched.
Right.
As soon as I saw that scene, I'm like, I'm out.
I'm out. Right.
I'm out.
I can't even check my brain at the door.
I can't,
because you're not even paying me the respect I deserve.
Because like at least Fast and Furious, I know that those are ridiculous and they're made to be ridiculous and they play to the audience to be ridiculous.
But they're also not selling.
They're not. Yeah.
Here's the dichotomy. Is they're not selling Scorpion to the IT crowd. No. They're not selling Fast and Furious to the car crowd. No. It's to the average, casual moviegoer. And if that's as deep as you get, fine. I'll say fine. But you're not going to get the diehard fans. No. Because you're not passionate about it. You're not respecting the source material. And... we talked with Rhett a couple of weeks ago about what is Star Trek canon, an expanded universe, and what do we think? And I said then, no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. And to wrap this back up with a nice pretty bow from the beginning of this episode, you've got people who say, I'm never going to watch the Book of Boba Fett because those weren't swoops, those were glorified painted Vespas.
Yeah.
If that's the problem you have with that episode, then you weren't watching that episode. You weren't watching the fact that Timothy Olyphant of Hitman and Live Free or Die Hard and Justified fame played a sheriff in Mandalorian armor. Like, hot damn, that was a fantastic role by him.
Oh yeah,
I
that was
loved
great.
that.
Oh yeah.
You don't care that Danny Trejo, of course, is a Rancor trainer.
Oh yeah. When I saw that, I'm like, yes, perfect casting.
Because
right
of
there.
course he is.
Yes.
You have the entire production staff and admittedly slightly lower budget than what Mandalorian is getting. The Book of Boba Fett is a sub-tier production to Mandalorian.
It is. But it's still entertaining.
But it's still telling a damn good story.
Yeah.
And 3 episodes in, and I'm going to watch the 4th when I go upstairs tonight because the 4th dropped this morning and I didn't know it.
They did? I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah, episode 4 is live, right?
Yeah.
Chapter 4 is up. It is so disheartening when Star Wars fans just crap on the smallest of details.
Mm-hmm.
It's the old corporate, tripping over a dollar to pick up a dime.
Yeah, I don't mind the like those small details. Like, okay, yes, it was kind of silly. The scooter.
There's a massive hot plot hole because Blue Jeans guy wasn't reintroduced as the one who introduced the.
That wasn't even a plot hole. It was just a silly design choice. But
yeah,
there's a lot of silly design choices in a lot of Star Wars stuff. That's not. I think what really bothers at least hardcore fans anyway is especially with some of the sequels, the character development and the nonsensical story and how exactly.
Here's the overriding problem with the sequels. It's not that individually, as a casual fan going for a ride, they were bad movies. And I know that's going to piss off the Star Wars fans, but anything I say here is going to piss off the Star Wars fans. It's not that looking at them individually, they were bad movies. I think as a whole, they told pretty decent stories. The problem is they didn't respect the source material. They didn't respect where they'd come from. They didn't know where they came from. They didn't know where they were going.
No, they definitely didn't know where they were going.
You had 2 different directors with 3 very different directions as far as where they wanted to go because, you had J.J. Abrams for one, or for 2 of them, and you had what's his name in the middle.
Rian Johnson.
Right, Rian Johnson. Thank you. J.J. Abrams, who had always wanted to direct Star Wars, but had to do Star Trek instead. Speaking of someone who's not necessarily passionate about the source material. 2009, you did a good job at rebooting the series, but then you said F it with 2 and 3 and just rammed us right back into the 2 worst Star Trek movies of all time.
Right.
At least they didn't rehash Search for Spock. At least it was just like, you're dead. Yes, you're alive again. Cool. We skipped 3 whole movies. Excellent.
Hey, you know what?
Voyage Home was the best.
Voyage Home was the best.
Yeah.
But seeing Christopher Lloyd as a Klingon was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. Yeah. But yeah, speaking of someone who doesn't respect the source material, when J.J. Abrams got his hooks into Star Trek, which he was passionate about, he did a pretty decent job with it. I will say The Force Awakens, solid movie. The problem is Disney, the parent company, started counting zeros and ones and said, you know what, we want a little bit more out of this, or we want to give another director a shot, or whatever the effing reason may be. They gave Rian Johnson the reins, and they said, yeah, you can do whatever you want. And he goes, well, I don't agree with anything that JJ did, and I want to put my own mark on this. So I'm going to take everything that he set up, and I'm just going to cast it into the effing wind and go a completely different direction that makes absolutely no sense.
No sense whatsoever, yeah.
And then they gave it back to JJ, and JJ did the same thing for episode 9 that Ryan did for episode 8. He goes, well, F what that guy did. I want to take it back the other way, but I'm also not going to follow the stuff that I set up in episode 7.
Yeah.
And you wonder why it's disjointed.
Yeah, and people don't like it. Yeah. Then you got Jon Favreau with the Mandalorian. There's a big overarching story, good characters, good character development, having even the trademark marketable cute character.
Yeah.
That even kids love.
Yeah.
Right. That's like quintessential Star Wars.
Right.
Yeah. It's perfect. It's like exactly what Star Wars needed. It needed that shot in the arm.
It really did. And you can go back to passion projects. Rogue One.
Yeah.
There was not a better Star Wars movie since the original trilogy, or a better Star Wars project, and yes, I'm even including the Clone Wars in that, than Rogue One. Because because Rogue One... Go ahead.
The good thing about Rogue One is how to get people excited about it, because they knew what the premise was, they knew what was happening, and they already knew what was going to happen at the end. How do you make that exciting? How do you make that good? And I think that they did an excellent job at doing that. It filled in a gap that fans already knew about but didn't know the full story of, and it was compelling enough and well done enough that it was a good Star Wars movie.
Yeah. The cool thing about Rogue One is I know how it ends.
Yeah.
I know that many Bothans died to bring us these plans.
Yes. Yep.
I know that there was great sacrifice by the rebellion and a few individuals who stepped up and got us these plans, so we have this one chance to save our society. What I didn't know through the entire ride of Rogue One was who was going to live and who was going to die, and what the individual storylines were, and who the heroes of that thing were, and everything else. And as it turns out, I didn't need to worry about who lived or who died, because they didn't care and they killed everyone.
Yeah.
And I love that about it, because it told a compelling story. Because the people who wrote it were passionate about it and stuck to the original source material and respected it and told a good story with it. And love it or hate it, Star Trek Picard is 10 times the Star Trek that Discovery ever dreamed of being. Because I feel it's more passionate. I feel it's more respectful and draws more on the source material than Discovery ever hoped of doing. Discovery draws more on CSI and NCIS than it ever hoped of drawing on DS9 and Voyager.
Right. Exactly.
So, and it shows. And while I have my qualms about Star Trek Picard,
I do too. It is better than Discovery, though.
It is.
Say that.
It's watchable.
Yeah.
While I will say it should have been 7 episodes instead of 10, and there were a couple storylines that shouldn't have been followed, and a couple things that I'd like to see better. I also didn't write it. I'm not the bankroller on this, and I still enjoyed it for the product that we got. I can't say that about Discovery. I can't say that about the sequel trilogy.
Yep.
I can definitely say it about Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, though.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
So, if you want to make money, it's as simple as not forgetting your fan base and being true to your subject matter.
Yeah, I was just actually
putting people who are actually passionate about things into positions where they can make informed decisions about the medium that you're trying to present.
My wife was extremely ecstatic when she found out they were making a Wheel of Time series, because that is her absolute favorite book series. Yeah. And about 3 episodes in, she absolutely hated it because they totally crapped on the source material. They took it in a completely different direction. They started crapping on the characters that she loved in the book. Yep. And absolutely hated it. And then we've been watching The Witcher, the season 2 of The Witcher. She doesn't know anything about The Witcher, but she likes it. Yep. Because it's a much better, well-written, and well done, and more close to the source material that the fans are looking for. Right. And so, yeah, just do that. Just do what the fans want, not second guessing, or I'm going to make it my own, or I'm going to do this. That's not what people want. And people don't want a rehashing of the original material either. They want I think that's why Mandalorian is such a great vehicle for it, because it takes place in the Star Wars universe, and it feels like completely separate outside of like the Skywalker saga. Right. I mean, I know there's crossroads with the Skywalker saga. Of course, and people love those towards the end. Those elements, yeah. But for 18 episodes, you had no idea that that's where it was going. You knew that the child was someone of some importance. Obviously, you know, if you've spent any time around Star Wars, you know what that alien is and what powers he possesses.
But we got to explore a whole other side in the Mandalorians, in the true original practicing Mandalorians.
Yes.
That was never explored. All we knew in Star Wars lore was that the Mandalorians were a great race of warriors.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was it. Yeah.
Now we know why.
Yeah.
Now we know who. Now we know what tools. Now we know that it's a religion. Now we know that it's this, that it's that. And we explored that in all of its facets. And it's wonderful. And again, if you're going to explore the source material or expand on the source material, Book of Boba Fett's a great way to do it. I like that they're taking the expanded universe approach, that Boba Fett didn't die in the Pit of Sarlacc, because that's a pretty unceremonious death for such a grandiose character.
Yeah.
And that, he escaped. And he got the crap kicked out of him. And then he escaped. And you know what? He got the crap kicked out of him again. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he's making something of himself because he's a fantastic character. And he meets some other fantastic characters along the way. Not to spoil anything, but there's a little Mandalorian crossroads that happens in episode 4, supposedly.
Oh, is there really in 4? Okay.
You with enough money, you can buy some muscle. You just have to know where to look. And then the Mandalorian theme hits. Is all I've heard. Like, I've already seen the memes for it. And,
is it really? Okay.
And so, we need some muscle. Well, credits can buy muscle. You just have to know where to look. And then it goes, woo, 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 woo. Like, I've already seen the memes. I know what's coming. And I still have goosebumps. Like, it's good.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
So I think there's... I've been waiting for the Book of Boba Fett for them to explain how he gets his armor back, because we see it being stripped by the Jawas, and then we see, Mr. Hitman, Agent 47, wearing the Mandalorian armor.
Right.
Which, love him or hate him, I think Timothy Olyphant did a fantastic Agent 47. But I went, well, how did it get from Timothy to Boba Fett and restored? And when are they going to tell that story? Because they've been telling two different tales the entire time.
Of his armor,
and I kind of wanted, how did you get it back?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe Timothy Olyphant's going to make another guest appearance. And
hopefully. He said, I hope our cross paths again. And he said, I hope they do too. It's like, I'm totally on board for that. But we know Mando packed up Boba Fett's armor and rode off into the sunset. Well, Boba Fett got that armor back, so we should have seen that as a foreshadowing in, what was that, episode 1 of season 2?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was episode 1. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that was the first one.
Yeah. I'm on 5 right now of season 2. I haven't finished season 2 yet. Anyway, circling back to the Quentin Tarantino wants to do Star Trek. I fully support it because he's advocating for it. Just like Seth MacFarlane advocated to make Star Trek, he wanted to do his own Star Trek series. And people went, you do Family Guy. Who wants to see that from you? And then he goes, well, screw you. I'll make my own Star Trek with blackjack and hookers, and turned out the Orville. And it was a better Star Trek than Star Trek Discovery ever dreamed of being.
Oh, definitely was. I still am looking forward for the Orville to come back on
for season 3.
Hulu.
Right.
Yeah, Hulu.
Yeah. And if you give someone a project that they're passionate about, chances are they're going to make a good product because they know the source material better than you. They will respect the source material, and they'll write something that's more appropriate for the fan base than you could ever dream of. Give Quentin Tarantino definitely a Star Trek.
I can't wait because he is just the best at character dialogue and conversation.
I don't know how he's going to slip his certain language.
Okay, like I've always said, I don't know what the series is going to be.
I want Samuel L. Jackson to both do Star Trek and Star Wars.
I would like.
I want him to have a phaser that says "bad motherfucker" on it.
I want to see a story outside of the Federation in the Star Trek universe, where you can do more stuff like that, and you could do a lot of, and you could still have interactions with the Federation, of course, right. But
I want to see 7 of 9 and the Raiders. I want to see the
that wouldn't be too bad.
I want to see the Maquis Rebellion. I want to see the Maquis versus Cardassians on the front lines. I want to see the Bajoran occupation. I want to see the Battle of Kronos with Romulus. I want to, like, there is so much good material that I want to see the Ferengi Empire rise. Like there is so much there that you could explore.
I think I noticed that on one of the last Discovery episodes, like in the Federation, and there's a council, and there was a Ferengi in there.
Right.
Didn't have any lines or anything like that. It was like, okay, they're still around. I'm not doing anything with them, but they're still around.
Right. It's like I want to explore what the hell ET's race was doing in Phantom Menace. Like, like tell me that storyline. I don't need to know about the Jedi. I want to know what the hell his planet does in the Trade Federation. Because that's an intriguing story in its own. And if you respect the source material, you'll get good stuff out of it.
They just import-export Reese's peanut butters, Reese's Pieces. Diabetes.
That's where it came from.
Yeah.
Wasn't a thing until 1982.
Yeah, it didn't. Yes, E.T. brought it.
All right. That was a fun episode.
That was fun.
That was fun.
I do like these discussions at the end.
Yeah.
Those are the best part.
Yep. If you like this discussion, if you like this episode, and you want to keep the conversation going, think about joining the after party, and you can only do that by joining the Patreon. Link is down in the video description. You'll get exclusive access to the Discord server where you can chat with myself, John, Rhett, Steve, all the hosts from Talking Heads, and hit me up on video chat every Wednesday night after the show, right around 10:30 Pacific time. I'm usually on there for an hour or two, and you can also talk to me throughout the week. We have so many channels and conversations, Star Trek to Star Wars to canon to music, to which metal band is the best, to we have a 3D printing channel, we have a makerspace, we have engineering and communications for networking and hardware and servers and all the things that you see on this channel, to foodie and buy sell trade. Like, it's a great place to be. It really is.
Always something fun to watch.
Yes.
Or look at and talk about.
To take part in.
To take part in, yes.
There you go.
There's going to be a subject in there.
It's all about those marketing terms,
like.
Steve.
Yeah. Okay.
Got to get that engagement.
Got to get that engagement going.
That's right. Anyway, follow me on Twitter at Craft Computing for daily shenanigans. Follow Steve on Twitter if you dare to find him.
You can find me.
If you can find him. Yeah, it's not easy. If you're interested in the beer content that we do on this channel, you can find both Steve and I over on Hops and Brews occasionally. Link is down in the video description. Subscribe to that channel. Most recently, Steve and I did a tasting the strongest beer in the world.
Beer, I would say. But yes, it was fun. That was a good video.
Screw the haters. It's a beer.
It's a beer.
It's a beer.
They call it a beer. What am I to say?
What's your favorite beer? It's a beer.
It's a beer. The one that goes down my throat.
Yeah, it was 75%, and Steve hated it. I quite liked it.
I did not like it. It was. I would rather take rocket fuel. It was pretty bad. I actually went back to Johnson, tried it a second time.
Oh, did you?
I did, just because I want to make sure. I
I really hated it the first time.
I don't want to hate for no reason. I give everything a second chance.
You know what? I respect that about you, Steve. I don't want to hate for no reason.
I still didn't like it. It's not good.
I actually got some nice flavors out of it. So
you could go back and try some more. John still has.
I'm sure he does.
He's not going to get rid of that thing for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to Craft Computing if you haven't done so already. Join us every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Pacific time for whatever this was. And check out our video sponsor, Linode, because they are a fantastic supporter of the channel and help keep this show coming to you. So linode.com/craftcomputing. Get a $100 60-day credit just for signing up for a new account. And get your cloud started today. And that'll do it.
Not everybody.
Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week.